Hello, good morning. This is FLOSSTUBE number 5 of Susan X Stitches here on YouTube, and I am Susan K, the creator and I guess maker of Susan X Stitches. You can find me also on Instagram, also at Susan X Stitches. So welcome to new subscribers, and if you are joining from previously, welcome back. I appreciate your continued support. It's been about 7 weeks since I last filmed. A lot's gone on. We've been to cross stitch camp, been working a lot in the yard. It's been warm here in South Central Wisconsin. I live in Spring Green, Wisconsin, and it's been warm, it's been humid, we've had rain, the grass grows, the weeds get taller, the flowers need to be watered daily almost, and they're beautiful, but they do take a lot of my time. So stitching there's a balance in the summertime with stitching, and that's where we're at right now, is trying to find that balance. So again, I hope you're all doing well. I hope the last 7 weeks have found you all happy and healthy and just stitching up a storm. So I would just say this episode will again contain a little bit about cross stitch camp down here at Country Sampler. That was about a month ago now. I've had about 4 starts that I'm going to share with you. I have a couple of WIPs that I've been working on. I have some inventory, and then I have a few plans that I want to share. So yeah, that's about where we're at. So sit back, relax, grab your stitching, and let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to just share a little bit about cross stitch camp. Monica Gum of Peaceful Times, I met her at camp, and she was sitting at my table. And she's a floss tuber here, Peaceful Times on FLOSSTUBE, and then I think Peaceful Times also on Instagram, although she might be Monica Gum, but regardless, I will link her so that you can find her and you can go check her out. She did a great, like a real review of all of the projects that we received. Then she also did a follow-up FLOSSTUBE, which gave details about the experience as well. So she's a great resource to find out about, the designers, etc. Heidi Whips and Kits also did a review of cross stitch camp with Country Sampler this year. Carol Saltbox Stitcher, so nice to meet you, Carol. And we've seen you on TV and on the FLOSSTUBE, but never met you in real life, so it was a pleasure. And she did a great review about the event. She and her sister were in town, and so that was nice. And then, oh, for Pete's sake, Peter. Peter came back, I think this is maybe his 3rd year that he's been to camp, and he also did a great review. So I will link those people and those maybe episodes if I'm able to, so that you can find them and just follow in the description below. So my experience of cross stitch camp, I believe that Country Sampler did a great job this year. And it was so fun. We had 3 designers. We had Vicki Jeanette, we had Kathleen of Needlework Press, we had Kathleen Littleton of Cross Stitch Antiques, and then finally we had the great Stacy Nash of Stacy Nash Designs, and the Stacy Nash who designs all of the animal crackers, and so we received an adorable project from her, and I'll talk a little bit more about an experience, interaction that I had with her when we get a little bit down to the haul or stash acquisition, inventory, supply chain, things that I acquired during camp. So, but the shopping, as always, was superb. The shop is beautiful. Country Sampler, they really are kind of in a league of their own in terms of the staging. I mean, the shop is staged. It is meticulously put together. It is thoughtful and carefully curated. Whatever the words are, attention to detail, that's very evident at Country Sampler, and the experience is always great. So I did make new friends, new table mate friends, new friends in general from the camp, and I also met up with old friends, and so that was wonderful. And so I just want to say hello to all of my new friends and hello to all of my older friends, and old meaning I knew you before, not in age, because I'm also could be an old friend in age. Yeah, we had a wonderful weekend of laughter, and there were some tears even. There was stitching, there was learning, and just truly enjoying the life. And so thank you all for making it so memorable. I want to share just a few pieces of table gifts that I received, and then I want to talk a minute about the table gift that I gave. And so table gifts, first of all, my dear friend Renee, Prairie Stitcher 515, she is very much she's a dear heart of a woman, and a true sister, and a stitching sister I will call her. But she made us these adorable puffy hearts out of I think what they call a cutter quilt. So maybe these quilts are old, they are ragged, and they can't really be used anymore and for anything else, and so they cut into them and they make these little smalls. This is adorable. I will forever cherish it, and yeah, it's adorable. It will be beautiful and super sweet in a dough bowl with some Stacy Nash pin keeps or some Blackbird Design pin keeps. Just precious. And Renee also gave us some thread keeps, which say kindred spirits are not so scarce as I used to think, which was an Anne Shirley quote, and so she made us these little thread drops, so that's nice. Thank you, Renee. The next gift that I'm going to speak momentarily about was Monica. I spoke about Monica just a second ago. Monica is also a designer, and she designed for us, I'm sorry for making this, I meant to take this out ahead of time, this wrinkly, crinkledy stuff. I just like doing this, but yeah, anyways, Monica, there we go. She designed for us, and I think has it maybe on her website, this little free chart that you can go download, and it is adorable. It says, "Let it snow, let it snow." I intend to do this this month for Christmas in July, although maybe not really Christmassy, but I'm going to make it, I think I'm going to change up the colors a little bit, and make it fit into some Christmas themes. So precious. She also included a little boo-boo brush and some little scissors and some threads to be able to stitch this. So thank you, Monica. This is precious. I love the fact that it was all kitted for us and it was ready to go. So that was very sweet. Next table gift was a little pin holder, a little magnetic pin holder there, super nice, and then some needles from Thelma. So thank you, Thelma, for sharing that with us. The next gift that I received was from a woman, and her name is Jeanette, and Jeanette and I became fast friends, and she was sitting right next to me, and she lives over in Milwaukee. Also, Thelma lives over in Milwaukee as well. So in any event, we had Jeanette gave away, or gave as table gifts, these beautiful mini McBean
counting pins. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. And then she gave a matching thread, and so in my case she allowed me to select first, so I was able to select, and this gorgeous strawberry. And I had a purpose for this strawberry, so I was really keyed in on this guy. And first of all, it's sparkly and got all the gemstones, so that's really, really beautiful. Love the red ribbon classic color works. That's very nice. But my mother and I also do a little bit of exchanging of retreat gifts, and so I gave her this year, I had found these on at Hobby House, these beautiful strawberries, velveteen strawberries. These are called Pax's Designs, and you can see that, I mean, just the attention to detail. First of all, it's about 5 or 6 inches, so it's big, it's tightly filled, it's weighted, velvet, red velvet, with some little seed beads, if you can see. And then beautiful velvet green for the top, and then also a little bow with some little, I think they're raspberries actually on top. But I was super excited about this mini McBean strawberry pin because I wanted to put it into my strawberry. So thank you, Jeanette. I love it, and it's perfect. It makes my strawberry perfect. So then another friend that I met from another table, she makes stitchy lotion bars, and so she gave me one of these, and so it is menthol, arnica, peppermint oil, smells amazing. I think also very good. I think it also melted a little bit and I touched it, but also very good just as you're using your hands. I think that arnica really helps with like inflammation, and I think also the peppermint oil and the menthol probably help also with inflammation. And so, if you're using your hands a lot, like this is nice, and I think it's going to feel and smell really nice this winter as I'm stitching. So thank you, and I apologize, I do not remember your name, and so if you are watching, I would love to again just reach out and see. I know you were going to buy a Patoki modern frame and a modern stand, stitching stand, and I just want to know if you love it, if you've received it. So anyways, reach out, say hi, and thank you for that. And then another friend dropped off at my table, and I honestly don't know who. So if this was you, thank you. A beautiful skein of Gloriana in the color Narcissist. Beautiful yellow gold color. And there was also a needle minder from Stitching Friends, Retreat Friends. And then there was a little sticker with some DMC floss. So thank you. Again, I appreciate it, and not sure who you were, so if you want to identify yourself, that would be amazing as well. Although I'm not going to speak about all of the things that we received at Country Sampler, I will just mention a couple of things. We received another little sticker of the little schoolgirl. That is one of the, I think it's actually, I don't know, Country Sampler. It's this is one of their logos. So, so a little sticker for that, and then Country Sampler shopping list, which is super cute. And then Stacy Nash Designs. She did a Stacy Nash Designs ruler, and it says Stitch Camp, and so that's really fun. Also, we received from Country Sampler a red stone mug, which is really nice, and I didn't bring it up here, but probably should have. So if I missed anybody or missed anything, there were a few other things, but I'm gonna stop there and just say thank you again to everybody that took time to say hello and took time to share with us and with me. My mother, she sat on the other side of me, and we had really a great weekend. So the memories were made, and we're looking forward to next year. So next year, I think we have 3 designers, and they're pretty big names. So we have Kimberly Nugent of Samplers Not Forgotten. We have Teresa Vanette of Shakespeare's Peddler, and then finally we have the Paulette Stewart of Plum Street Designs. So I think next year is going to be especially fun, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that as well. And it's so handy because I live here in Spring Green, so we can just go and then come home at night and like recap and try to rest and catch up, be ready for the next day, because it's a lot as you're going through these, you know, these projects and learning and sitting and listening and then just meeting all the people. It's exhausting by the end of the day. So good though, but fun to, you know, fun to just come home and recap with Mom and talk through everything. So the gifts that Mom and I made, we stole exactly, or directly, I should say, from a dear woman named Danny Mann, and Danny lives down in Alabama. And I met Danny, Mom and I met Danny at the Stitch with Jackie, and Jackie is comfort stitching on FLOSSTUBE, and I will link her below, and I'll link her Instagram as well. I think she's got a different Instagram, and so I don't want to say it wrong and direct you wrong. But Danny went to I think StitchCon Weekend A, and she was making, as I was talking to her, I was like, "What are you going to do for table gifts?" And she's like, "I think I'm going to make little pin keeps." And I had ordered, she had ordered on eBay some little footed, you know, little 2-inch diameter and maybe 2-inch tall footed salt cellars on eBay. And then she said, "I'm going to stitch some little tiny pin keeps. I don't know if it's going to be a bumblebee or if it's going to be a crown. I'm just not sure." And I was like, ding, ding, ding. This is exactly, do you care if I steal this idea? She's like, "No, heavens no. Go for it, girl." And so we also got onto eBay and found a set of, you know, different sizes, different shapes, salt cellars, little antique salt cellars. And so again, they're not very big. They're glass, vintage, about 2 inches in diameter. Maybe the little opening inside is maybe about 1 inch. I'll show you this one here. And I wanted to be able to show you this, so I left this one unfinished a little bit. But so what we did then, or what I did, was I stitched on 56 count antique white, Zweigart, using, I think it was number 441, Aversois 103s, number 441, so kind of a royal blue crown. And I went through my stash and my charts, and I had found some crowns, and so I didn't bring the list of, or I didn't bring the actual charts up with me, but I know that I pulled, so I made 12 in all. I stitched 12 in all, and then Mom helped me put them together the night before. You know, so that was what we did, and we collaborated on this. But I used crowns from Blackbird's Design. I think they have a Crowns and Shields book. I used Sampler Crowns chart, which is by Happy Mood Points, and I found it on Etsy.
and I can link that. And then Scarlett House has Queen of quite a lot, and I use some of her crowns. And then finally, crowns from Little Robin's Design, Straighten Your Crown. And so I stitched, like I said, 12 in total. They were each a little bit different in terms of the crown, but that was the premise of them. And so I stitched it and then cut it into like a three inch circle, and then I don't know if it would be called a basting stitch or a running stitch, but I doubled my thread over and then did a running stitch around in a circle with probably about 1/4 or 1/8 inch seam on it, and then pulled or drew in the thread and filled it, and then finished it off just by stitching over loops. Doesn't look very pretty on the bottom, but you get the idea. And so then makes these little pillows. And then the little pillows then fit down into your your salt cellar. So again, you probably have all seen these, so I probably don't need to be giving as much detail here as I am, but just wanted to share them with you. They're absolutely adorable. Thank you, Danny, for the inspiration, and I look forward to maybe making some more at some point. They were a lot of fun. After I did 12, though, I gotta say I was a little bit burnt out on them. And so Mom and I, we did 10 to give away, and then we were going to keep ones for ourselves, each of us. And so we just did the 10 the day before when Mom got here, and I said, I'll do the other 2 when when this is all over. And so that's what I did. So these are the 2 that for us. And so yeah, so that was fun and beautiful. But again, thank you, Danny. I think that they turned out pretty sweet. Okay, so now I'm going to get into to our. I think I said 4 starts that I want to talk about. They're very small starts, but enough that I wanted to share. So the first one is. Anne Grimshaw, 1818. This is an Ackworth sampler, Ackworth Quaker School sampler from the Scarlet Letter. This is a chart that is beautiful. It's been done. There's a lot of people that have done it. I mean, it was copyrighted in 2000, and so it's been out for, a good bit of time, but also very timeless, right? Just gorgeous. So, I've been wanting to stitch this one for a while, and all my supplies finally came in, and so I was excited. And my supply that I was waiting on, I hadn't decided what count of linen I was going to stitch on yet, and so I was going round and round. Was I going to stitch it on 56 because it's such a big chart, and I was just I just wasn't sure, and so I ended up selecting Bride Cake, which is a legacy linen 48 count legacy linen bride cake color, and then I ended up also selecting, and this is why I was having trouble with my linen selection, because I really wanted to use this certain thread, and so the thread I wanted to use was, of course, painter's thread, and the color I had selected was Waterhouse, and I ordered back in January, February from the Cruel Goblin down in Australia, and they weren't able to fulfill the order for the number of spools that I needed right away, and so I didn't receive these, I think, until May. So it took a minute to receive them, but I do know that now you can get them at, I think the Attic has painter's threads, and I also think Hobby House is carrying painter's threads. So, in fact, I know Hobby House has painter's threads. So I know you can get them here in the U.S. now, and it's a lot easier. But I have a very small start, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. If you are not familiar with the Waterhouse color, it has it's okay. So painter's thread. Just let's step back for a minute. Is a 103 weight. And it's silk, and it's over dyed. And so I know you're not going to be able to see in this light, but we can try and hope. But it has, you know, it has blues, and it has greens, and it has black, and it has brown and purple, and just really dark, rich colors, and obviously variegated as it's over dyed. And so I was, you know, trying to find the perfect linen for it, and I decided, you know, one, I think that the sampler has aged in kind of this yellow for the original, and so I wanted to kind of try to mimic that, and so Bride Cake seemed to be a good choice. So Legacy linen, 48 count, and using this painter's thread for Anne Grimshaw, 1818. Okay, so again, very small. We'll keep working on it, and I look forward to sharing more progress as time moves on. Yeah, I could hardly wait though. Once I received that painter's thread, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get some stitches in. It kind of comes off as a little bit gray, grayer than I thought it would be, but I thought it might be a little bit more intense, but it's not. So it's beautiful. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, that is the first new start. The second new start is super fun, and it is the Stitch Along for Atelier Soed Idee, which is Simone out of the Netherlands. And Simone has graciously and generously reproduced a chart that she is releasing in 12 or 13 weekly installments. And so from her first weekly installment was last Saturday, so they're coming on every Saturday between June 28th and September 13th. You can go to her website and you can find the new weekly installment. The chart is free, but again, it's weekly, and then the chart will remain free until October 1st, at which point there will be a charge for it, or a paid version. So get it now, people. Get it now while you can. I think the call for was vintage mocha, 36 count. I have switched it to a beautiful 56 count Mason linen from Mason linen 56 count antique button box, and it is medium light. And so that's showing about right. I've also switched up to 103s, and those colors that I have chosen are as follows here. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if I can just hold them up. They're very rich, I would say, bright primary type colors. Maybe the green's not really a primary, but very beautiful kind of tones of primary colors. It's been fun. Like, this is the first week, so today the second installment dropped. As soon as this is done filming, I want to get that stitched up. The rest of this line across the top, and another little alphabet start. This alphabet looks a little hieroglyphical to me, but we're going to trust the process, and we're looking for the Black Rooster. So the Black Rooster SAL is what this is called. I don't even think I said that, sorry. Black Rooster 1811, Summer Stitch Along. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see the Black Rooster, which, you know, she's not going to reveal to us until the end.
you know, that's going to be the last week, but so we have to wait, I'm sure, but it's going to be gorgeous, and I'm excited. This is my first piece of mason linen, excuse me, to stitch on, and yeah, it's gorgeous. And yeah, we picked it up when I was down in Kansas in April, and Mom and I went over to Quilter Station. They had some pieces of mason ahead of an event that they were having. So anyways, I snagged that baby. It's a half yard, but now it's a little bit less, obviously, because I cut into it, but gorgeous, 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 and more to follow on that. Black Rooster, 1811, and you can find it at Atelier, Soed Idee, and again, I will link her Simone's webpage down in my notes, my show notes. All right, I know yesterday was July 4th, so this is a little bit late, but you know, July we should still be stitching. Maybe can still be stitching whenever we want to stitch, right, people? We can stitch whatever we want whenever we want. No rules here in this community, and no rules in this in terms of what we stitch. So and so I started for the 4th, Flag Folk. I had purchased this chart during Stitch Camp. Our friends down at the Sampler, Country Sampler, had this in a model. It is absolutely gorgeous. Notforgotten Farms, Flag Folk. And I am stitching on, okay, so they had it stitched, their model was stitched, I believe, on Murky. Picture this plus Murky. And the piece of Murky that I had, and I knew I had a lot of purple in it and purple undertones, and I didn't think that was going to be right for this. So I went through Stash, and I know it's a new concept, but I went through Stash and found a linen that I thought would work, and I think it's really beautiful. So this is a Roxy Floss Co. This was their September 2024 linen club, or fabric club, maybe it was called, and this is a piece of their linen. It's very modeled, but very beautiful. So anyways, it didn't have a name in terms of a color, but in it there are there's greens, and there's red and blue, and a little pink and a little yellow. And in any event, I felt that that this would be a substitute, and an acceptable substitute, maybe more beautiful than Murky, and so that I had seen down at Sampler. So I had them kit up for me, or you know, pull all the thread colors for me. So this is the Country Sampler thread conversion that I'm using also, which is really, really beautiful. So primitive, and yeah, I am loving this stitch, and I intend to get this done this month. So this is one of my plans. All right, Flag Folk, Notforgotten Farms, and using the Country Sampler conversion, and using a piece of linen from Roxy Floss Co. From their fabric club, and it was unnamed. It's an unnamed color. But I know if you probably go and ask them, they can probably give you more details about what they sent to their club members back in, sent to their club members. I'm just trying to find my clip because I'm probably going to need it for this next one. Back in September of 24, when that was the club piece. Okay, so that was that, and then my final start is my birthday start. So May 21st, I turned 51, and I had been searching for a little bit for a chart that I thought would be fun to stitch for my birthday, and so I selected
BG 1874 by Samplers Not Forgotten, Kimberly Nugent. She's going to be at Country Sampler next year for a cross-stitch camp, so that's going to be fun. And once I heard that, I'm more motivated than ever to get this done, or to get this into a good place where I can, you know, be proud of my progress. So to be able to show to her. So this is a chart that is big. It's about 500 wide by 200 deep, and so on 36 count, I think it's something like 27 inches by 11 and a half or something. It's pretty. It's a big piece, and so. It's also got some fun things that you do in here. Not necessarily different specialty stitches, but you are pulling threads of linen and you are then reweaving in silk. And so the call for is a whole silk collection. And the silks that are used are, there's Gloriana, there's Belle Soie, and then there's NPI. And so... yeah, anyways, they are rich, they are luscious, and they are plentiful. There's a lot of silks hanging on this hanging on this ring, and I hope you're able to see you know, even just a fraction of them there. But yeah, and it took me a little while to get all the silks pulled together. And then I went down to Country Sampler, I don't know, sometime maybe April, and asked Linda to help me. And so I selected a piece of 36 count Cedar River linen in the color Pyrite. And so I think called for was a buttercream, Lakeside Linen buttercream. I did not have any of that, and Country Sampler did not have that either. And so we selected Pyrite together after we looked at the threads on it. And so I'm going to just hold this up. Hopefully you're not going to see, you know, you're going to be able to see the detail through there, but you can see where I have pulled linen threads here, so you can see where there's linen missing. And then you take your various colors of silk and then you reweave it in, and then it just creates a solid band. So it's over and under one, just like you were weaving linen to begin with. So it goes all the way across here. And it's a solid piece of silk that you're using. And you go all the way across, and then end. And so I decided to keep my strands longer because I wasn't sure I had counted correctly, and I didn't want to have to like start over in probably Susan fashion. So so in any event, that's where we're at. There's 8 alphabets on this chart, so I'm through 2 of them, and I've got the start on the 3rd, and this pulling of the linen threads and then replacing with the silk, there's 5 different bars that go across the whole width of the chart. So there's 1 on top, 1 on the bottom, and then 3 in the middle section. So you're going to be seeing this guy for a while, and I want to keep showing it to you. It's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous silk and linen. So BG 1874, my birthday start. If you have any questions on this one, I would love to talk to you. And if you've ever stitched it, I would also love to talk to you, just to have some more moral support. But maybe you'd be able to see a little bit better since I folded it up and given it some body, that reweaving in. Anyways, really, really beautiful, beautiful silks, and excited to see some more progression on this. Yeah, so fun. Okay, so those are my starts for the last 7 weeks. Then we're going to move into my 2 WIPs that I have to share with you today. And so my 2 WIPs are the Across the Pond Facebook group, One Stitch at a Time, La Di Da, and it is adorable. This has been broken up for us by so it's the tiny stitcher and Marie, I think her name is, from Swan Bay, and her name is Stitches and Diamonds. And then Somi Sarah actually did the breaking down of the parts, and they did it in I think in 10 parts, so it's been separated into 10 parts to be finished in September, with the hopes of starting another one as a group in, or a different one, whatever, as a group in January of 26. And so I have started this, and I am keeping up. I have some work to do for the June and July assignment, but I have till July to get it finished, end of July, so I think I can do it. But just to show you real quick where we're at here, actually I'm going to show you on the chart, and then I'm going to show you my work. So you can see this side and the left side, the left and the right sides there are different. And when I looked at it, I didn't feel that it was balanced in terms of these motifs being balanced with the left side. So I've decided to just mirror image the left to the right, and so you'll see that on mine that I'm starting. You can also see that in the picture the house is a little bit gray in color. And that's, you know, that's really what color, you know, it kind of looks like in real life also. But I decided that that wasn't bright enough for my eye, and so I also kind of brightened up the house a bit, and I have a different colored house, and I have a different colored, yeah, you're gonna see it here when I get my needle unstuck. Oh my gosh, there we go. Let's see here, we'll just move them over there. One moment, please. I need like a production manager to help me manage all these things in real time here. Okay. All right, so I have it clipped up here. Yeah, so this is where we're at. You can see the left side, which I think, so May through May was the house, and then June and July is the right side of the house, and so I'm just going to mirror image that left side to the right side. And you can see I kind of have started it there with that little flower, and then you can also see that I've changed up the color of my house to be what is now a silk, and it's Belle Soie, Classic Colorworks Belle Soie, in the color Puritan Blue. And I have it in my little bag here, so I won't take it out, but you can see it, you know, on the fabric. The fabric that I'm stitching on is Wheat by Fiber on a Whim in the count 46, and it's really, really, really pretty. So Fiber on the Whim kind of has a tendency to kind of be a little green and a lot yellow, I think, and so you can see that greenness, I think, in this. But I think it's pretty. I think it's very pretty with this stitch and these threads. And otherwise, other than that silk that I'm using the Called For Everything Else, and that is a collection of DMC, one DMC, and the rest are Weeks Dye Works over dyed. So very, very sweet stitch. Lottie Daw does a good job with all of her little designs, and yeah, and I really enjoyed and have enjoyed stitching this. So there's also a monthly Zoom that you can get a ticket to after you sign on to the Across the Pond Facebook group. You answer a few questions, you get approved into the group, and then you will see, if you're paying attention, I think it's the second Saturday, so about a week before that second Saturday, they will say, okay, our Zoom's coming up, and then put an opportunity to, quote, buy a ticket. There's no cost for the ticket. It's just a way for them to manage their you know, their number of people that are jumping on. So I think it's pretty smart, and that way everybody gets a chance to participate in it and kind of get to know each other. It's a little more intimate. So I think they reserve it or kind of top it out at 40 or 50 participants. So that's nice. Anyways, there we are, our stitch along. We are up to date, and I just got to get this other right side done to be totally up to date for July. Okay. Yay. Okay, my final work in progress that I'm going to show you today, or talk about today, is the very beautiful and very delicate, it is a French Rosé by Marie Vallée by Running with Needles and Scissors, and I'm going to move that over a little bit, so maybe that helps. I decided to change up, well, I changed the linen. So the linen that was called for was a 46 count Lapin Loops Small Potatoes. This was a market release in 2025 Natural Market, and the call for was 46 count Small Potatoes Lapin Loops. I have changed mine to 46 count Stained China Dames of the Needle. And again, I love me some Dames of the Needle linen. So you'll find Dames of the Needle, although interesting, this is my only piece that I'm showing you today that I have in works. But then I also decided to change up from the called for, which was Gloriana Flamingo, which I had, but and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, in my you know, when I looked at it, I felt that it was a little bit orange with the linen that I wanted to use, and so I was really, I really spent a lot of time with this, and I don't know if I made the right choice or not, but I think it's beautiful, and so we're gonna just go with it. But I have selected, instead of the Gloriana, I selected a beautiful linen, or beautiful silk by Classic Colorworks Belsois called Angel Blush, and Angel Blush is, I would say it's got some mauves and some browns in it, and some ivory, and it really is very tone on tone, almost, with my linen. So it's almost like white work, or yeah, like I said, tone on tone, but it's beautiful, and I think I'm really going to love it when it's framed up and all finished. But Belsois, as you probably know, is an over-dyed, and so there's variegation in it, and it's just, you can kind of see the variegation then in the stitches as well. But I think it's turning out really, really beautiful, and yeah, so 46 count Unwashed Eggshell by Dames of the Needle, and my Belsois Angel Blush. And my chart name, again, one more time, is Marie Vallée, a French Rosé, Running with Needles and Scissors. There's accessories that you can also make, and then there's the full antique piece. So it's really, 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 really sweet, and so tiny on 46. So this is also something I want to get done this month. There's not that much more stitching left. I just need to put some focus to it and get it done. So that's going to be in the works. I have to get my SALs. I need to keep up on those that I'm working on there that we talked about. I want to get Flag Folk also done. So and then the other plan that I have that I want to get done this month is my Modern Folk Embroidery. I think it's called Season's Greetings, and it's pink and green. You can go to my Instagram and find it. And I can't recall all the details about it in terms of what I'm stitching with, but I know 103s, and it's, you know, it's about this big, but that's going to be my Christmas in July kind of focus piece for this month. So those are my plans that I have, I believe. And then Also keep up with my SALs that we talked about. There's a couple of SALs that I am way behind on, woefully behind on. One of them I'm leading and running, and it's embarrassing how badly I'm failing at that job. But that's the Heart's Content Masterpiece Silk on Silk. It's called English Carpet. So Be It Lorraine and I are hosting it, and then I think we had 5 or 6 others that just picked up pieces that they already had in their stash of the Heart's Content and started it, and so they're all moving along, and I'm woefully behind and woefully haven't done much on it. And then the other one is my Let Freedom Ring 250. So that is Leela's studio, and it is Let Freedom Ring by Leela's studio, and it's being there's a Facebook group for that. Crow River Stitcher is leading that. She is Crow River here on YouTube, and then she's also Crow River over on Instagram. But again, there I will post a link to the Facebook group, and you can join there. Probably a couple of questions that you need to answer, but then you can move along with that. Then the other, before I get into my haul or acquisitions that I've made, I just want to say a couple more things. So this is episode number 5. I started 4 months ago, I think. So this is, yeah, it's been about 4 months exactly, because I started 1st of March. I think at my first floss tube 4 months ago, I had 12 WIPs, and now I'm at 19 was my count before I started this today. So that's a bit overwhelming. I've found that there's a bit of I feel like there's a bit that I don't know. I feel a bit enabled, and I'm embracing Heidi whips and kits. You know, you just start all the things, and so I'm going to work though to try to get it down by 3 this month. As I said, so French Rosé, Red Berries, Modern Folk Embroidery, and then Flag Folk. I want to get those 3 finished. It's going to be a lot of stitching, so I got to get busy, but I'm thinking I can maybe do it at least 2, 3 maybe a stretch, but 2 I ought to be able to knock out, and get the count down to, you know, maybe 16 instead of 19. So that's crazy. And then in early August I have some framing to pick up, yeah, so I don't plan on starting anything right away, but I do have some obviously things kitted that I want to start, and things that I acquired while at Country Sampler, and that I've acquired over the last 7 weeks that I want to share with you. So we're going to jump to acquisition right now, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Okay, I have it all down here in my little basket. Oh, we have a basket. We received a basket at Country Sampler. I'm going to show you this adorable little basket that we received. So every day these, okay, so first of all, these were on our table with this little adorable little flag ribbon. And then it had our stuff in it, and every day we just left our baskets on the table, and then they would come and fill them the next day with our new kits and our new supplies. So really, really, really cute basket. And so I thought, well, that's fun. I'm just going to put my acquisition in that today and be able to talk about it. So, okay, I did not bring the whole kit up. But Adeline Thorne and it was recharted by House of Stitch and Stash, Rika. Rika just has a new video I saw this morning. I haven't watched her, but she's got a new video. But one thing that I want to show, because this is like my first like project bag anything, and it's really not a project bag, but it's a project folio, I think she calls it. But look at this thing. Oh my God, it is gorgeous. I don't know anything about it really, but her work is impeccable. So there's a vinyl, a vinyl zippered pouch here. There's another tuck pouch, and another tuck pouch behind. Then there's some felt that you can put your needle on, or catches your your threads, and then a pouch here for things, and then of course she's got her little logoed label here, if I can get it up high enough there. But this was in her, so she recharted a kit or a sampler from her personal collection called Adeline Thorn. And Adeline then had these kinds of colors in it. And so when you ordered or signed up for her exclusive, you could select project bag, folio, both, and then the kit, and then what size linen, and then did you want silks or what have you. And I think silks were her only choice for this one. But anyways, I chose the folio, and holy goodness, I mean, my God, the work, my goodness, I should say, not my God, my goodness, the work is beautiful. And so Rika, thank you. It's beautiful, and I love it. So that again is my first little piece and foray into this project bag world. Yeah, really nice. Okay, moving on. I don't know if I spoke about this before. Country Sampler has a stack of these, or has a stash of these, and they have had them for a little while. So this is the Red Book of Sampler Stitches. This is a great book. I've had it for a few months here, but I I saw it when I was putting my stuff together, and I was like, oh, I want to make sure to share this. So this is Eileen Bennett of the Sampler House. She put this together, and it just is a book, a library, or a kind of a, I don't know, library is probably not the right word, just a demonstration book, but of encyclopedia book of all of the stitches that could be found, and then how to do them. So of course you can find YouTubes and other online resources for that, but I have found that this is an exceptionally good resource. So called the Red Book of Sampler Stitches, Eileen Bennett. If you don't have it, you need a copy for your library. Really, really beautiful, really very thorough, and yeah, I think it includes, I don't know if it includes all the sampler stitches, but it is a good chunk of sampler stitches in there. Okay, so then one of our designers was Vicki Jeanette of Needlework Press, and so this is not a haul, but because I've had it for a little while, but Charlotte Warrington, 1838. I haven't started Charlotte, but I have her kitted using, I think 46 count, the straw, Weeks straw, and then I'm going to use the over-dyed floss. But I wanted Vicki Jeanette to sign my copy, and so she did, and I wanted to share my little autographed collection there. So there she is, the one and only Vicki, and she says, "Dear Susan, enjoy every stitch. XO, Vicki." She was incredibly gracious with her time during the event, and she came around to all the tables every day and helped us learn and taught us how to do some hem stitching one day, taught us how to do make a little pin keep with a big, I don't know how big of a gauge needle, but it was a big needle. We made little pin keeps, and then she did a reward of merit paper piece of, I don't know, a design that she kitted for us on paper, which was also fun. And but yeah, so she just came around, and the one chart that I found while at Country Sampler that I hadn't seen before, and I thought, well, how appropriate. I was going to try to get this filmed yesterday, but it didn't work out. So so this was in my stash from then. But red, white, and blue, RW and B. So red, white, and blue, ABC. And adorable Needlework Press. But look at how sweet that chart is. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyways, that's going to be something that I mean, it's small, right? Like,
I don't know how many stitches, not very many, 182 by 122, so shouldn't take very long, but a very sweet, patriotic kind of piece that'll go lovingly with the rest of my collection. Then Kathleen Littleton was our designer number 2 for the Stitch Camp, and she had, of course, there were 2 sister samplers that she shared with us, and she shared a beautiful book with all of the, the big history of her, just samplers in general. It was a very informative day with her, and but she also brought along the model, not the model, she brought the model, but she also brought the original of this chart called Innocence, and it was, it just was really, 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 really breathtaking, and I fell in love with it. My seatmate, or my table mate, both Heidi and Jeanette fell in love with it, and so Jeanette and I went back to the shop, to Country Sampler, and we searched for a piece of linen, and so we bought the chart, which was Innocence 1840. I guess it's been out since 2020 or 2019, but I think 2020, and oh, it is so beautiful, you guys. But anyways, Jeanette and I found a piece of linen they had a half yard, and we asked them to split it, and so we have each a quarter yard now of Sleeping Bear needle and flax, 46 count, and we are going to stitch Innocence in a silk. We haven't decided. Maybe she has selected. I know she was going to call the attic, and she was also going to reach out to Vicki Clayton to see if she had charted this yet in silk or done a conversion. And so we are, we're going to stitch this together using our precious Sleeping Bear needle and flax linen, and it's got some pinks to it, and I don't know, some browns and some taupes and some, just gentle modeling on it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I cannot wait to get started on that. So, Jeanette, I'm going to reach out to you this week, and we're going to get our silk situated and sorted, because we need to. It's time, girl. It's time. Okay. Now, next in my little pouch here, what more do we have? A lot. Okay, in our bag of tricks. Okay, so Stacy Nash was our 3rd designer. One of the things that I have been working to get put together, although I haven't done a very good job of it, I just identified my linen and my velvet, but one thing I want to get done is this adorable little velvet pink pear needle book and pin keep, and anyways, it is so cute. So Stacy Nash, and I have selected, so called for is the Rhubarb Velvet by Lady Dot Creates. Again, picked this up at Culture Station when I was down there in April. Such a great place, actually. But then I also, and this is probably washing out, the sun has just gone, we're supposed to get some storms this afternoon, but maybe if I hold it up you can kind of see. But I have a piece of 40 count. It's called Precious is the color. I'm not sure who the dyer was, but Precious is the color, and it's kind of this kind of pinky, taupey brown kind of color, and I think it's going to be really, really pretty. Brea Needle and Flax, I think, was the called for the needle book, and this came out at Market of this year, so it's not very many stitches, so I need to get that started. And but also, everybody is into their animal cracker era, and I am not going to miss out on that. I believe personally that Lily will probably become one of the most collectible pieces that she
has in her animal cracker collection. It's hard to say, though, they are all adorable, but Maggie May and Lily seem to be really, really popular. And so I had asked Stacy if she would autograph my Lily for me, and she did. And she said, "Susan, happy stitching, my friend, Stacy Nash." Again, she was very generous with her time, very generous coming around to the table and just talking to us, getting to know us, and yeah, and we had a lot of fun with that. One of my, so those were the 3 designers, and then the 3 items that I kind of picked up during Stitch Camp that went along with it. I thought that was fun. Okay, now moving on to something completely different. One of my, I guess, what do we call them? Unicorn charts. That's what we call them, unicorn charts. So Abby Rose Designs is a designer that was around. I think that the owner may have gotten sick, or the designer may have gotten sick, and so isn't designing or isn't doing any more chart production. And so her Abby Rose Designs charts are proving hard to find. And so, but one of the charts that I have been looking for some time is Let Freedom Ring. And the reason I love this chart is, 1, it is Americana, and I think that is classic. And number 2 is that blue on the house, or that gray on the house, is about the color of my house here in Spring Green. And I think it is really, really precious, really, really, you know, special. And I like to stitch things that are kind of personal or meaningful to me. And so the color of the house is certainly something that would remind me of this house. And so, anyways, I just think Let Freedom Ring, this little chart, is precious. I found it on eBay. It popped up one day. I'd had a search going for quite a while, and it popped up, and I was like, I am not going to let that get away. So, yeah. So, Let Freedom Ring, Abby Rose Designs. A unicorn that has now been found. It is possible, friends. It is possible. Okay. Then I have, so Joy, also a Christmas in July potential start. Again, I said I wasn't going to start any Christmas in July things, but I was just going to work on that WIP. But I think I might start this just to have a little bit of a start. I apologize for the glare. That is awful. But this is Shakespeare's Peddler, 2025 Nashville exclusive. She also, Teresa Vanette, will be at Country Sampler next year, so excited for that. But she designed this, and she used a natural Zweigart linen. So I have some pieces of that, and then she also had some. Piece of hair is like tickling my nose. Silliness here. She had, I think, a collection of 3 Classic Colorworks that she had worked with the Classic Colorworks folks to have limited editions, and she released those thread kits at market. By the time I put it all together and got on board with it, I had missed out, but I was able to get and snag one of the colors, which is called Spring Rain. It still says limited edition, but Spring Rain. And Teresa Vanette may have some more of this on her website. She was, I think, trying maybe to get, Kitten Stitcher was trying to get, some more of it. Some more of the 3 colors. And so I'm not sure if she's been successful, but I thought that this was a very muted shade, and I loved it, and it made me think of Vera's Stitching Corner threads. And so Vera's Stitching Corner is a thread and linen dyer out of Canada, and just a little boutique, small little hand dyer.
and it's naturally dyed, so using all natural dyes, which is really, really, really beautiful, but also makes the tones very muted, and I am loving this. So I reached out, so I did a color conversion. I reached out, placed an order, and received my colors, and so I have a collection now of Vera's that I'm going to be using for Joy. So if you are looking for some what I would call incredibly close maybe matches to the classic colorworks, but since you can't get the classic colorworks now because they're limited, Vera's Stitching Corner, and I'd be happy to share this conversion that I've made. Her colors are gorgeous. A chocolate acacia. This is just ecru DMC. Then she has what's called a mystery cardinal, but it's a kind of a burgundy. This is the limited edition Spring Rain. She has a mystery olive, so pretty. And then she has a magenta Brazil wood. So kind of matches the color of my shirt here. I guess I should also probably show you these colors. It's going to be gorgeous, but I do think it's a very good match or alternative if you were not able to snag the called for limited edition from Kitten Stitcher at Market or Shakespeare Peddler. Okay, so Vera's Stitching Corner. She's great. And I've got another chart, Anne Hughes 1852, that I've converted to Vera's projects, both linen and her threads, and I'm really enjoying it. I have put some stitches in it, but for the sake of time, I decided to wait to share my stitches and my progress on that until a later date. So, okay, then the next one that obviously everybody's seen it, A Daily Reminder with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. The Arboreal Cedar River is very dark, and it actually is not my favorite linen either. I think a brown linen is much more appropriate, and so I had found in my stash Sienna Night by Lakeside. It's a 40 count that I'm going to use, and then while I was at Country Sampler, I asked them to pull the threads for me, and so here's where we are. And I know that my friend Jeanette and from Milwaukee, she found some linen. There was a what do we call it? A pop-up shop from a couple of linen dyers while at Country Sampler, and they had one called Twister, and so Twister is also really, really beautiful with these called for colors by Brenda Gervais for Daily Reminder. But again, I'm using Sienna Night, Lakeside, and we'll see how it goes. I'll give you some progress. Hopefully, maybe September I'll start this guy. I don't know, would we call this a sampler? Yeah, I guess we would call this a sampler. So this could be my sampler September start. I think that will be, actually. Thanks for helping me make that decision. Anyways, beautiful, and we're going to start that. The designer that I just talked about, though, or the dyer that I just talked about, that had the Twister linen, her name is Hometown Fibers, and she can be found on Etsy at Hometown Fibers. She has some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful linen, and I know she's got one that would be absolutely gorgeous for celebration. It's a blue. I can't remember the color of it. Dang it, I wish I would have looked that up. But it's a blue, mottled, dark blue, like a sapphire. But it would be really, really beautiful for celebration. Rosewood Manor, her new Karen Kluba's new celebration chart, which has what looks like a White House on it kind of design, obviously patriotic, or it's got some fireworks in the background. And anyways, she's got a beautiful hometown linen
or Hometown Fibers has a beautiful blue that would be gorgeous with that chart. So long story, irrelevant. But while I was at Country Sampler, they also had this pop-up shop from Needle Bling and Design, and then also Hometown Fibers. So I purchased a couple of pieces of linen in so one is called Wheat and one is called Old World, and I kind of like, one is kind of pink. They're very, very, very similar, and I didn't really realize maybe how similar they were. So I wish I would have gotten a little bit darker one or a different one, and I kind of thought I was, but apparently I wasn't paying that much attention that day. But these linens are beautiful, and the colors in real life that she has are really, really nice. So 46 count Old World and 46 count Wheat are my two colors that I have now in my stash. And again, we'll hold this up, maybe it will focus this, and I will post a link for Renita, her Hometown Fibers website on Etsy. So she was great. It was fun to meet her, and she's also so she and Needle Bling are both Wisconsin linen dyers, and so that was fun to meet both of them. All right, so also while at Country Sampler, I picked up some more linen, obviously, because that's what we do, right? So not at the pop-up shop, but but just in the shop, I picked up some cookie dough, 46 count cookie dough. I stitched my my Stacy Nash gingerbread house on this last year, and in the size and the count 36, and so I am anticipating, I don't know for a fact, but I'm anticipating for Jingle Ball this year, Stacy Nash is going to have maybe a companion piece or something. I don't know, but I don't want to be missing out, and so I planned ahead this year, and I'm hoping that that if she does, that I can use this 46 count cookie dough for it, and have a sweet piece, maybe. So that was literally why I bought this, was anticipation of Jingle Ball and Stacy Nash's. Maybe she's going to have something. So, and this is what I did my gingerbread house book needle book with, and so I wanted to have a little bit more on hand. So now we have my friend Renee and I were shopping, and I actually was looking with her at the 56 count specifically for the and Grimshaw, because I was thinking still of stitching using that Waterhouse painter's thread and stitching on 56, but I couldn't find a good linen down there, and so I wanted to that's when I decided the bride cake was going to be good. But in the meantime, we picked up it's called the Stitch Me Sugar Cream Pie. It has a very, very, very faint pink shade to it. Not sure if that's showing at all, but it is pink. It has pink undertones. It is a beautiful piece of linen, and I cannot wait to find something that will be appropriate for that piece of linen. It's gorgeous, and I've not stitched on Stitch Me, so that'll be fun. And then I found a piece of Lakeside Vintage bisque, and in a fat quarter, so that was nice. And then my final piece of haul that I have to share with you is a fat half that I found of Needle and Flax Valley Forge. So it has some green tones to it. Again, you're gonna be seeing it through the not really a true color, I know. And the gray day here is not helping either. It's washing everything out, but anyways, Valley Forge is a beautiful needle and flax linen, and I bought a fat half of it in 46 count. So
that is where we're at. And so I hope that that you've all enjoyed episode number 5. And it's really episode number 6 technically, because I did have a floss tube extra. But I'm calling this one 5 on July 5th. And I'm very grateful for each of you, each of my viewers. Thank you. Thank you for taking time to reach out, interact, hitting the subscribe, commenting, liking, yeah, just interacting and sharing love for all of us in this community. That's what we need more than anything in this day and age. And yeah, again, I love you. Sending all my love, always. And I hope that you all have a great July, and I will be back sometime maybe before I go down to Kansas. So Stitch with Jackie is happening again in August, end of August, so maybe I'll be back before then, but if not, it'll be right after that. And yeah, until then, all my love. Keep crossing every stitch, and eventually we will get these projects all completed. All right, take care. Bye-bye.